1 week later, settled and having spent more than a few hours a day writing, Ashleigh opted to take a break, which had come by way of invitation from Samantha McCoy, Logan's new wife. Instead of coming up with a multitude of excuses, which was her MO, Ashleigh easily accepted, hoping that the outing would help to get her mind off of the two things she'd been overwhelmed with throughout the week: being stalled on the book she was writing, and thinking erotic thoughts about Alex McDermott. It was a no-win situation. If she could stop thinking about Alex, the first would likely work itself out. However, if she kept thinking about Alex, the first would likely work itself out. Since her brain hurt from trying to do either, Ashleigh had sworn off thoughts of Alex for the night, which was why she was standing in the living room of Logan and Sam's immaculate home, trying to feel like she belonged. After an hour of engaging in conversations with a slew of people, Ashleigh was still feeling a little awkward. Between Logan and Sam trying to introduce her to everyone, including Sierra Sellers, an interior designer from Nashville, Ashleigh's mind was racing, trying to put names with faces. She'd even had a brief conversation with Luke, Logan's sexy-as-hell twin brother, but he didn't seem to be in much of a good mood, so she'd given him some space. At times, it was awkward trying to talk to adults about children's books, especially those who weren't parents themselves. As much as they wanted to feign interest, Ashleigh knew better. When living a life of isolation, it was easy to find ways to entertain yourself, and Ashleigh had come up with a few tricks of her own. Watching people was one of those that both amused her and provided good material for future work. The McCoy house was offering her a plethora of information that could be spun into some really intriguing books. Suffice it to say, these people were unquestionably entertaining. Of course, there was the most fascinating of them all, and though she had sworn him off for the night, avoiding him required some creativity on her part. The man was relentless. Up to this point, she'd succeeded in avoiding conversation with him, but his interest was apparent, and a little flattering if she were completely honest. Although it was a day late and $1 short as far as she was concerned. Had he remembered what happened so long ago, Ashleigh was pretty sure he wouldn't be looking at her like he was undressing her with his eyes. Instead, she hoped he'd be blushing bright red with embarrassment. Doubtful, but she had a vivid imagination. A commotion sounded from the front hall, causing Ashleigh to turn, just in time to see Sierra practically running out the door, Logan's twin and a sexy blonde man following after her. No one seemed concerned with the drama, and Ashleigh wasn't about to get in the middle of it. When Sam's voice drifted from the foyer, Ashleigh made out the words, "Luke, frustrating," and "gone and done it again." "Hey," the familiar voice interrupted her eavesdropping. Swallowing hard, Ashleigh summoned up the nerve to turn around. "Hi." 1 syllable. That's all she had to come up with? So how was it possible for it to come out choppy and a little unsure? It was odd, the effect Alex had on her. Here she was in a room filled with extremely good-looking men, all successful, confident, but Alex was the only one who could make her heart pound. From his sexy, unkempt hair to those dark, dark emerald green eyes to that powerful body, Alex stole her breath. Even in comparison to Luke and Logan McCoy, identical twins who were by far the biggest men Ashleigh had ever come into contact with, Alex was just as intimidating. Maybe even more so. Admittedly, Ashleigh wasn't a shrinking violet, easily above average in height.